Set up a single sign-on for your internal users, learning objectives. After completing this unit, you will be able to create a federation ID, set up a single sign-on from an external identity provider, become familiar with the tools to troubleshoot SAML requests. Single sign-on. With a custom domain and login page, you make it easy for employees to log into your Salesforce org with a secure, easy-to-remember URL. Do you want to make it even easier so that they don't have to log in at all? Then set up a single sign-on. SSO has lots of advantages. You spend less time managing passwords. Your employees save time when they don't want to manually log into Salesforce. Did you know that users take 5 to 20 seconds to log into an online application? Those seconds add up. More people use Salesforce. Users can send out links to Salesforce records and reports, and their recipients can open them in a single click. You can manage access to sensitive information from one place. In this unit, we show you how to set up inbound SSO user logins in somewhere else, like an on-premise app, and then access Salesforce without logging in. You can also set up outbound SSO, which users log into Salesforce, and then access other services without logging in again. We'll save that topic for another module. Configure inbound SSO with a third-party identity provider. Let's start configuring inbound SSO with a third-party identity provider. The head of your IT department, Sean Solo, tells you to set up Salesforce users with SSO so that they can log in to your Salesforce orgs with the Jedi network credentials. Here we walk you through the steps to set up SSO for Jedi Tech's new employees. C-3PO. You will set up inbound SSO using the Axiom Heroku web app as the identity provider. Is this starting to sound difficult? It's not really. Let's break it down into simple steps. Create a federation ID for each user, set up SSO settings in Salesforce, make up Salesforce settings in the SSO provider, make sure it all works. Remember that the prerequisite is for SSO. That's right, a custom domain. Because you have already completed the unit to set up your custom domain, you are ready to go. Step 1. Create a federation ID. When setting up SSO, you use a unique attribute to identify each user. This attribute is a link that associates the Salesforce user with the external identity provider. You can use a username, user ID, or a federation ID. We are going to use a federation ID. No, a federation ID isn't owned by an interstellar shipping organization with nefarious designs. It's basically a term that the identity industry uses to refer to a unique user ID. Typically, you assign a federation ID when setting up a user account. When you set up an SSO on your production environment, you can assign the federation ID for many users at once with tools like the Salesforce Data Loader. For now, let's set up an account for Jedi Tech's new employees via C3PO. From Setup, enter users in the Quick Find box, then select Users. Click Edit next to Sia's name. Under Single Sign-On information, enter the Federation ID Sia at jedidesignTech.com. So let's go to Setup. Let's add Sia as a new employee. Okay, we're gonna uncheck this, so no password is generated. Complicated stuff. But now we found the username that's not in use already. Okay, so let's go to single sign-on information. Let's see if this works. And that works indeed. And save it was already saved, so we don't need to do that. Step 2. Set up your SSO provider in Salesforce. Your service provider needs to know about your identity provider and vice versa. In this step, you're on the Salesforce side providing information about the identity provider, in this case Axiom. In the next step, you give Axiom information about Salesforce. On the Salesforce side, we configure SAML settings. SAML is a protocol that Salesforce Identity uses to implement SSO. Tip: you're going to work with both Salesforce DevOrg and the Axiom app. Keep them open in a separate browser window so that you can copy and paste between the two. In a new browser window, go to axiom.heroku app. I think we already have that open. Yes, we do. Click SAML Identity Provider and Tester and download the certificate. That's what we do. Okay, let's download it. You upload the certificate later to your Salesforce org, so remember where you save it. In your Salesforce org from setup, enter single in the quick find box and select single org settings. Click Edit, select SAML enabled. Well, that's already done, so I don't need to save it. In SAML single sign-on settings, click New and enter the following values. Okay, let's do this. Name Axiom Test App. Uploaded the cert as well for browse. Next, request signature method RSA SHA1. Search and contains the federation ID from the user object. SAML identity provider, identity is in the name identifier element. subject statement, that's already selected. Service provider initiated request binding, select HTTP redirect. Okay, enter your domain name including HTTPS. That's this one here. Oh, it's supposed to be here, entity ID. Save and leave it open. Step 3. Link your identity provider to Salesforce. Now you have configured Salesforce to know about the identity provider axiom. You teach your identity provider about your service provider Salesforce. You fill in a few fields in the following axiom form, easy peasy, because you're supplying Salesforce SSO settings. Keep 2 browser windows open, one for Salesforce and one for Axiom. Return to the Axiom web app if you don't have the app open already. Click the SAML identity provider and tester, generate an SAML response. There we have it. Lots of stuff to fill out. 2.0 Federation ID. Just copy paste that. Issue, paste it there. Recipient URL. Entity ID. So it's basically the same. And now let's see if this all works. Make sure it all works. Okay, now that you have everything configured, let's make sure that it works. What's the proof? A successful login, of course. In the Axiom settings browser, click SAML response. It's way down at the bottom. Axiom generates the SAML assertion in XML. Doesn't look like the language used by a robot communicating with data output moisture evaporators. So look again, you can see it doesn't look all that bad. To get the interesting information, scroll down the XML. Click login. We can log in, okay. Let's try this. I'm not really sure what the issue is. Account is active. Never logged in, so let me check another user and try this there. Users. Not really sure which one I used the other day. I think it was this one. So I'm gonna go through this all again and let's see if this will work. Okay, I just scroll down. Apparently we need to do this all, so let's check if it works. It probably won't work because it's most likely requires like a working login, but let's check the challenge anyway. Okay, there's a problem with SAML enabled. So let's go back there if I forgot something. That's strange, it's enabled. It's enabled there, so it's very strange. Let me relaunch the playground. Have a look. So it's definitely enabled there, but maybe, yeah, I don't know, let me check. So I redid the whole process using a new account. I basically Googled around a bit and I found this information here. Just created a new dev, not the playground, link it to the trailhead, and then it works. So basically they all got the same error and it didn't work, so they created a new, so one guy here created a new account And that's what I just did. So I went through the whole process of creating a new developer account, and then I went here, launch your hands, to the launch playground, and there you can select log into a developer edition, and there you can connect it to the playground and use it for that challenge. And in the end I got this badge. So yeah, that's what I have to do, and that's probably what you will have to do as well. So that's about it. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, click the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit subscribe, and if you have any feedback, whether positive or negative, just let me know. Always happy to read it. Thank you so much. Have a good day.